Okay guys, today's video is going to be on the Codan UIC card and how to get into it and how to test it. Just wanted to show you the physical setup here first. You can see up here I have the Ethernet cable removed, and I have a crossover cable plugged in going straight to my laptop, and I also have the USB cable plugged in to my laptop as well. And today I'm not doing anything official, so I'm just going to use the portable up there to do the audio test back and forth to demonstrate how it works. But anyway, that's the physical setup, like I said, going straight to the laptop. And let's go ahead and get straight into the program, and I'll show you how it works. All right. Well, we have a before we get into here's the Codan screen. Excuse me. And before we get into it, we just need to do a little bit of configuring on the laptop. Just go over with it real quick here with you. And it's just in your Ethernet. You need to configure your Ethernet so that it has a IP address that's close to the one that you're doing. So I'm doing the UIC card is 130.24, so I'm .94 here. And like I said, we just want to configure for a static IP address here so we can do our little test, because we're just using a crossover cable. So you get that done, you get your IP set up, and then you can close out, and you can now go ahead with the test. So let's bring the UIC back up, and the first thing we're going to want to do is to look at the configuration with it, well, let me pull up the program here so you can see everything. And it went ahead and it's already connected to the UIC via USB. You can see it. You get a flashing green light down here and it says you're connected. When it connected, it went ahead and read all the information. You can do it again if you want. It just duplicates what it does as soon as it plugs in. And it gives you all the good information like the serial number and all that good stuff. More importantly, it gives you its IP information here, and the type it's programmed as, which is a P25 FSI. And if we come over here to look at the FSI, we need to remember these two numbers here, 8070 and 9070. Those we're going to need when we go into the test. What you should do though while you're here is you can go ahead and come up and save this as a file in case anything happens to it and you need to reset it to where it was before. And also it has a little thing here where you can do a report. But just remember for our next thing that we're going to go through here that we're looking at the 8070 and the 9070 for the control and for the voice. Nothing that you're really going to do in here. It's all configured, and it's just you just basically leave it alone. So, but it's important to have this information stored. So let's go ahead and close out of here and go into the actual test. So you see down here it says test, and the screen will come back up here. And now we have a situation where when you very first bring up this screen, this will be blank right here, and the IP address and all the port numbers down here will be the default ones. And it took me a little while to figure out how it does this, but basically you get this one chance up here to put in a name. You see I've already entered in D7 here in the drop down and previously, and I entered in the information. Every time I would do it before, when I would there's no place to save it. You can't come up here and there's no place to save it. So I was confused at how he ever got this to populate. But then I finally figured out you had to enter the name, and as soon as you hit connect down here, it's essentially like saving it. So when you go out and go back in, all of a sudden it'll be there, and all the numbers that you put in here will be saved. So, but anyway, here we are. Like I said, the first time you would need to come down here to the IP address and put in the UIC IP address. And here you would need the 8070 for the control ports and 9070 for the voice. And once you got this info over, and like I said, you're plugged in with your Ethernet cable, now you can come over here and connect. And you see, as soon as you go connect, all the information for it, the serial number and everything populates, and you get this turns into disconnect, and down here at the bottom you get a thing showing that you're connected. So this and let's just go straight into the transmitter testing here in the radio functions. So what I found is that depending on which channel you select, you have to select whether it's analog or digital. If you select a channel in the Codan, in this particular case, we'll take A2. It's analog, and if you try and do a push to talk with this transmit audio and the D, it'll show push to talk, but it won't actually do anything on the radio. The radio will just ignore it. So you do have to know which channels are digital and which channels are analog. But once you know that and you select the appropriate tests, then it'll work out fine. Now I'm going to go ahead and do a live test here. I'm actually going to be using the real analog channel here, and I have a portable, and I'll turn my portable up, and so we'll be able to hear it. And this is actually going out over the air, so I'm just going to keep it real short, just a quick burst. But you'll hear the tone go out. So here we go, and we're all set up and ready. Here it goes, and there we go. And so yeah, you could actually have that hooked up to a service monitor and do an official deviation check and power check and all that good stuff. But like I said, we're just doing a demonstration for this one. Now, so that was in the analog mode. Now let's go to a digital channel and do the same thing, except we'll do the digital, and instead of doing the tone, we're going to do the voice test, which is really cool. And I also found out that this transmit NAC actually overrides what you have programmed into it, into the Codan itself, which is really neat. So I can program it for a NAC like this and just keep it as this one, and I won't be actually transmitting across the repeaters. So I'll just be transmitting a NAC that's not enabled anywhere, so that makes it really convenient. And of course on my portable I have the F7E code programmed with my receive audible, so I can see the NAC while it's transmitting. So let's go ahead and do this test, and you'll hear it and see what it sounds like.
It is late morning on 4 o'clock.
Glass will clink when struck by metal. He smoked a big pipe with strong contents.
They took the crosstown bus.
They'll throw trash on the street.
So there you go. Okay, I unkeyed it, and yeah, like I said, it was transmitting NAC 293 for that transmission. So that's pretty cool. Now let's move on to the receive. And the receive, first I thought was a little bit lame because it wouldn't do the digital, but then it kind of made sense to me to do the digital decode would require some kind of embedded program in here they probably didn't want to give away or anything. So I could understand that, because you could turn that into a general P25 receiver. Anyway, it does receive the analog audio just fine, and all the.
Check 300 on 71.
There you go. There's someone talking right now and save me the effort. And there you can see where you get the active when the dispatch was transmitting back to him. So we'll get that dispatch response, and then we'll hear him come back. So, but anyway, here let me do a quick little test myself. Make sure we're going out, and we'll go. Testing 1 2 3. Yeah, all right, and that's good enough for me. Now, if I do go into digital mode, you'll see what we won't hear it, but we'll get a little message on here, and we'll see it go to D. But it'll just let us know that it's not going to replay it. Testing 1 2 3 4, and there you go. It gives you the little. Here, I'll do a little bit longer so you can read it. P25 digital mode audio is not for playback only. But anyway, yeah, there's your receive side of it. The only other thing that it has on here is this UIC specific things. We're not using any of these. It does have this check power thing here where you can supposedly click it and it gives you the updated voltage readings, but we see we're right on the money there, so don't have to worry about that. So I think that's about it. Let me go ahead and I'll go ahead and disconnect again. So you get the red down here, not connected, and we'll connect again. And there you go. Alright. I didn't want to overlook, because if someone gets curious about it, but there is also this proprietary backdoor way of getting into it. And it has absolutely, there's just no difference between them. So you can get these numbers on the proprietary UIC numbers in the regular configuration screen, but I was wondering if there was some kind of big something fancy that this would do that the other one doesn't, but it's not. So but anyway, there you go. Hope this helps, and we'll talk to you soon.